Hey everybody, Councillor Dave Lane here, and I'm in beautiful Bowring Park, St. John's to answer the weekly question. And this week's question is, how come there have been sightings of dead fish in the Waterford River and also in a fish pond here in Bowring Park? Back in September there were sightings of some dead fish, and it raised some concern. There was a lot of them. And we couldn't find any reason for why that might be until we learned through investigation that there had actually been a water main break in Mount Pearl upstream. And that's the most likely reason. And the thing is, chlorinated water obviously isn't harmful to humans, but it is harmful to small water-based creatures like fish. So it seems to be an unintended and unfortunate incident. However, we do continue the investigation because we want to be sure. So we've engaged the Federal Department of Environment and Climate Change, and they've taken samples not just of the water and done some actual on-site investigation, but they've also taken some information from us about pesticide use and chemicals on farms nearby. So we're looking into exactly what seems to be causing the problem there. Now, later in September, while the investigation continued, we found some more deceased fish, and so we were concerned that maybe this was an ongoing issue, and again we couldn't find any reason why this might be. However, there had been a lot of rain leading up to that, and two possible things is that maybe some of the fish that had deceased earlier had been maybe resting at the bottom of the water but were pulled up with the inflow. But the other idea is that maybe the chlorine took some while to actually harm the fish, so they succumbed to it a bit longer than immediately. So that's where we are with the Waterford fish kill. Hopefully it's done now, and we're always trying to avoid this sort of problem by being having regulations around dumping and use of chemicals and things like that. But one thing that also came up was some deceased fish in the fountain pond here in Bowring Park, and we looked into it, and we think it might actually be also because of the rainfall we had that actually helped fish flow into that. Because we just couldn't find any other problem through research. But that led to the question as well about the quality of the water in the fountain pond, because it's actually quite dark and green. And the short answer to that is actually that the filter we have in place, which is based in the fountain itself, actually doesn't work. So what we've been doing to try and keep the water clean is that twice a year we do a major empty, about a third of the water, and we let it refill with clean rainwater. But we're looking into other options to keep that clean as well. And one big thing that you can do as a resident, or we can all do, is to not feed the ducks in the water itself, because that all goes to the bottom of the water, and it makes it get dingy because it kind of decomposes. And actually, in a lot of cases, the things we feed, a lot of people feed bread or chips even to the ducks. So if we stop doing that, and if we do have duck feed, put it on the grass around the pond, because they'll actually head over and eat that outside the pond. And that's an easy way to do that. It doesn't cost a dime, and it keeps the water a bit clean. So that's a bit about the fish and the ducks. Hopefully that helps to clarify some of the questions that were happening there. I highly encourage you to come to this beautiful park that we have here. It's a public amenity. It's great for taking the family and for getting some exercise and some peace and quiet. If you want to share this with anybody, please do help them learn about our fish population and the duck population and what's going on with the water. And if you have any questions at all, please share them with me. I'm happy to respond online, but also maybe I'll answer it in a weekly question. So thanks again, have a great weekend, and talk to you next week.